How's it going, guys? White Rabbit here. The 58th Annual Grammy Awards aired this evening, in which Lady Gaga performed yet another Illuminati ritual, this time in the form of a tribute to one of their own, David Bowie. Now, the question that should be on everyone's mind is to the purpose of this intel-fueled satanic charade. However, in a world that seemingly lacks independent critical thought, too few recognize the esoteric significance of these performances or the impact that they have on the general public. So allow me to explain the reasoning behind Lady Gaga's latest performance and the agendas being pushed through her celebrity status. Lady Gaga represents three significant aspects in the occult realm of Hollywood. The most obvious and probably most unbelievable being that Lady Gaga is a victim of MKUltra.
This is how I overcame my depression, is by creating somebody that I felt was stronger than me.
I've discussed this in previous videos, but MKUltra basically consists of breaking down an individual's psyche into fragmented pieces that are then easier for a victim's handlers to manipulate. Subcategories of MKUltra can be identified as monarch programming, often depicted in Hollywood through the imagery of butterflies, and sex kitten programming, which is commonly depicted with the victim wearing cheetah print and/or cat costumes. However, to better explain her tribute to David Bowie, I'd like to focus on two additional aspects of Lady Gaga, these being polytheistic depictions and satanic imagery, as well as Baphometian androgyny.
Are you listening?
For context, let me introduce you to Aleister Crowley. Arguably the most influential occultist of all time, he was nicknamed the Great Beast and was denoted as the wickedest man in the world. He was an influential member in several occult organizations, including the Golden Dawn, the Ordo Templii Orientis, and Freemasonry. Best known for his occult writings in the Book of the Law, Crowley was the quintessential Illuminist. So what does Aleister Crowley have to do with Lady Gaga or David Bowie?
There's a lady who said, I don't know if I'd want to meet him. He would make me very nervous. I have a feeling he's into black magic and that sort of thing. And other people see him as just a very skillful performer who changes from time to time from one thing to another.
Yeah. Well, both of that is.
All of the above.
But even more obvious and damning than that is the opening verse in David Bowie's song Quicksand.
I'm closer to the golden dawn, immersed in Crowley's uniform.
Now, referencing Aleister Crowley and practicing black magic may seem to be an isolated occurrence restricted to David Bowie, but Crowley has actually been a common theme throughout the music industry for some time. In an industry that bolsters Luciferian ideologies, Aleister Crowley, an individual who is influenced by a variety of esoteric and occult sources, and a man rooted in the decadent movement, acts as the ultimate poster child for Luciferian ethics and morals within the music industry. So it starts to make sense as to why an influential student of Crowley, such as David Bowie, would have such a special tribute dedicated to him at the Grammys.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in an energy form, but I wouldn't like to put a name to it.
Do you indulge in any form of worship?
Life.
So where does Lady Gaga fit into all of this? Well, Lady Gaga is actually the feminine counterpart to David Bowie in Hollywood.
If you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna...
Jumping back to the Baphometian androgyny aspect of Lady Gaga, in Aleister Crowley's fourth book titled Magic, he asserts that Baphomet was a divine androgyne and the hieroglyph of arcane perfection. While equating this goat-headed half-man, half-woman creature with the Devil Tarot card, Crowley maintained that Baphomet was representative of the babe in the egg, aka the Egyptian god Horus, or the original being, which was apparently bisexual. The point to be taken away from all of this is the representation of opposing genders present in a singular being. And just as David Bowie embodies the ideals of Baphomet through his androgynous personas, so too does Lady Gaga.
I portray myself in a very androgynous way, and I love androgyny.
And here we begin to seek the why. Why does any of this matter, and why should it matter to you? It matters because the satanic elite are attempting to infiltrate the minds of the general public through indoctrination by pushing ungodly ideals and attempting to lead people down the path of damnation. The truth is, they don't really care what you believe as long as it isn't the gospel. And the worst part is, through the saturation of immorality prominently displayed on national television, their agenda is proving to be successful. Over the past 7 years alone, the percentage of Americans who consider themselves to be Christian has dropped 7.8%. While non-Christian faiths have risen 1.2% and unaffiliated faiths by 6.7%. Clearly something is causing the sudden change in our religious landscape, and I would argue that the Luciferian music industry is playing a deliberate role in these figures. But what's more is that we are in the midst of spiritual warfare, and these satanic rituals actually serve a purpose to the elite. The success of any occult ritual is dependent on the flow of energy, and that energy is absorbed through the audience and fed upon during the ritual. David Bowie in this instance was the ritualistic sacrifice. Do you really think that it was a coincidence that he died of cancer at the age of 69? No! His death and the circumstances surrounding it serve as the keystone, acting as the portal to the demonic realm for use in this ritual. Furthermore, consider this. Aleister Crowley stated many times that developing the quote-unquote body of light was the primary focus of magic. He is quoted as saying that the body of light offers the magician unlimited access to information, ideas, and experiences, making it the premier magical practice, and further elaborates by instructing his pupils to, quote, conceive of the magical body as a creative force seeking manifestation, as a god seeking incarnation. So contained within this one performance/ritual, we see the mirroring twins, a flesh and blood androgynous female and the light essence of an androgynous male, uniting in a singular performance using David Bowie's death as the sacrificial gateway into the demonic realm, whilst feeding off the energy of the listening audience, just as the depiction of the sun and the moon coming together on Lady Gaga's forehead at the beginning of the performance representing Osiris mating with Isis and birthing Horus, so too is this performance symbolizing the ritualistic birth of the Antichrist spirit. And if you're still in denial, what do you think that's doing there? So there you go guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Check out some of my previous videos for a little more clarity. Thanks, and God bless.